Newcastle United have made a second, or is it a third bid for Anthony Elanga? And speaking of third, will it be Arsenal's third time lucky in getting to win the Premier League this season coming? Let's find out right here on Toon Tactics TV, folks.
Brilliant from Sham. And now Murphy could take on the shot. Fabian Schär
All right, folks. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are having a splendid week. As always, I hope you guys are blessed no matter what you're doing, whether you're coming back from work and you need to hear some background noise, or you're about to go to work and you need to hear some background noise, or you just want to hear all things tuned, no matter what you're doing. Maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're going to sleep, whatever it is you're doing. You could have been doing anything, but you are doing it right here with me on Toon Tactics TV. So, guys, do let me know how you guys are doing, where you guys are watching and listening from. Already got folks in the chat. Sarah Robson, evening to you, evening Philip. God bless you. And already my camera's on the dodgy one, but we're going to work through it. We are going to work through it. And we've got, just to remind you folks, it's going to be a fantastic episode tonight, another episode of Through a Rival's Lens. We're going to be focusing on Arsenal today. So hopefully if Mr. Wobeljog comes through in the chat, he gets to see one of the top from, in my view, one of the top Arsenal football content creators on here tonight, talking all things Arsenal with our man Kunle. So he will be arriving shortly, and we'll be doing all of that. But in the meantime, folks, do let me know how you're doing. We've got some Arsenal news. We've got Newcastle news, obviously, we'll kind of to discuss as well. But the main focus would be obviously around Arsenal. We're going to be reviewing Arsenal's season that they just had, some of their stats, transfer business they got done, and is it strengthening their squad? We're going to be doing some player comparison deals and stuff like that, and seeing, are they actually getting better? Are they gonna be really challenging? Are they going to be favourites for the league this season? And also, we're going to get Kunle's perspective on all things Newcastle. So really looking forward to that. And obviously, as always, folks, I've got my trusted PowerPoint on as well. I hope you guys like the thumbnail. But first off, I wanna first off, obviously, we've speak about really tragic news that I'm sure all of you will be aware of what's happened and what the news that we received in the early hours of this morning, and that is, as reported in the Telegraph, that the Liverpool and Portugal forward Diogo Jota, and it's also including his brother André Silva, who have been killed in a car crash in Spain. This obviously came first from, according to reports in the Spanish newspaper Marca. We know that Diogo Jota leaves behind not only obviously his wife and his 3 children, and as well as obviously his family, but also the footballing community and all of us here as well. And it's absolutely tragic news. And you know, my prayers, blessings go out to him, go out to his family. May the Holy Spirit of my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ, provide them comfort and strength throughout this really kind of tragic time for them. It was interesting because I was watching Richie from Red Devil United this morning, and so it came on live. It came on live while Richie was doing it. He was discussing transfer news, and then this news just came in through the chat. And you know, initially, like all of us, like myself, I was thinking, you know, is it real? Is this really happening? And it did. It is obviously, it has happened. And It's interesting because being older now, being a father myself, I just couldn't, and I've seen a few content creators as well saying the same thing. There's a few of us that are fathers and or our parents essentially, and just leaving your children behind is you know obviously not it's absolutely unimaginable pain. That can only imagine him, his brother, his family have gone through. And so, absolutely. And I've seen what's been really, as I said before, may God bless him, his family, the Holy Spirit give him and his family kind of comfort in this really, really tall time. But what's been really amazing to see, and is just to see the outpouring of love from everybody in the footballing community, really, really taking the time out to stop and to just give their condolences, not only to Diogo Jota's family, but to all the folks in the Liverpool, fans, the and everybody that's associated to Liverpool as well. It's been absolutely kind of phenomenal and encouraging to see that. And they say there's more things to football, but I think this is somehow kind of molded and meshed together, and into life and football and for everybody else. And so I don't know what to call it now, but it's just been really amazing and encouraging to see how the footballing community has just banded together for Diogo Jota, his family, and all those that are involved. And got a few folks in the chat already kind of doing the same thing. Cy Robson, he only got married 11 days ago. Such tragic news. Absolute, it's tragic, and at the same time, it's like it's yeah, man. It's what can you say? There's no words for it, and so. Uh, uh, but as I said, God bless him and his family, and uh, it helps him process it and kind of get through this time as well. Niall Kane, RIP to Jota. Football today has lost champion. Yes, RIP everyone. From behalf of the football community, 100%, especially here from Toon Tactics TV, from Newcastle fans. Obviously, our club, Newcastle, have obviously made official statement for Diogo, providing and giving their condolences as well, which has been absolutely massive. And now Kane as well. Yeah. He also saying, God bless you, Mike. Now Kane, good to see you as well. Yeah, he recently got married not that long ago. Absolutely, he has. And yeah, absolutely massive news, tragic news, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, to see the footballing community, to see everybody's response to it, kind of giving their condolences, showing their love to Liverpool, showing their love to Diogo Jota and the family as well. And so yeah, just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure that we did that as a footballing community, as we extend our love and our kind of condolences and our appreciation for all things for this obviously really massive event. Right. So, and folks, do you feel like if you want to, like, you can continue to show your appreciation, show your condolences throughout the show for Diogo Jota and the family. We are going to be talking about a lot of things in the show, but don't think I won't read out your messages. Don't think I won't read out your condolences for Diogo Jota and the family. So, like I said, I mentioned, I wanted to talk a little bit about this Elanga news and this bid that was put through. And I want to ask you guys, first of all, well, a couple questions. Do we think he's going to get over the line? Do we think this is the deal? Is this the deal that's going to get it? Or get the Art Forest going to accept? And is it too much? Is it too little? Do you want Elanga? Do you think? I've got a lot of questions here for you guys. Really, is he going to be the one to get us over the line? I want to read a couple of things that I've bookmarked around Elanga as well. First of all, let me get to the news, and obviously, it's come from Mr. Craig Hope, one of our tier one journalists here, obviously for Newcastle, our Northeast correspondent, and that is exclusive. Newcastle are on the verge of agreeing a deal with Nottingham Forest for Anthony Elanga after 55 million pound offer. Um, uh, for Elanga. I mean, what's you guys' initial thoughts on that? Obviously, since that there's been different variations of it, saying okay, and good to see you, Kim Kang. God bless you. You know, saying it's getting close. Let's see, are we going to get it over the line? I've seen something from got a couple add-ons. Let me see. Let me see. There, got a couple of feet there. So Adrian Pickett, I reckon 55. I'll get back to you. Let me just see. El Capo, God bless you. Gornstein and Atramano NUFC submitted a 55 million plus add-ons. Okay, so I imagine those add-ons take it up to 60 million. So I know that Forest were asking for the 60 million. So I'm not surprised about that. I'm not surprised about that. So 55 plus add-ons. Okay, excellent. Thank you for the update, Al Capone. God bless you. Adrian Pickett, I reckon 55 million will get the job done with some performance related or sell-on clauses. And that matches exactly with the Ornstein. So 55 million plus add-ons. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I was gonna say, like I thought, I think because Forest was, there was other reports saying Forest wants 60 million, right? Forest wants 60 million. We're bidding 55 million. And I'm thinking, have we bid 50 plus 5 million in add-ons? Are we doing that? Because from the way I'm rubbing my head, you guys are already thinking, I don't know if we're going to get this. I think we're going to get rejected again. And that does nothing but to feed the narrative again about Newcastle getting rejected by everybody left, right, and centre. Newcastle aren't getting rejected left, right, and centre. But fine, whatever. So I'm glad to hear that it's 55. Not necessarily like, we're paying 50, this much money, but I'm glad to hear that, it sounds like a serious offer, 55 million plus. I imagine the add-ons will take it up to 60 million, maybe even a little bit above that to sweeten the deal. I'm sure there'll be. I think from what Craig Hope said, they're going to be talking through the night. So it sounds like they're trying to get this over the line, like today, really, which is again encouraging to hear. And what I will also say is, I imagine that the add-ons, like Adrian said, be performance related, but I imagine that they'll be fairly easy, shall we say, to achieve. Appearances, I would say, for instance, if we get through to the next group stage of the Champions League, maybe, I don't know how Forest feel about that. If we qualify for Europe, assists and goals and stuff like that. So I imagine it'll eventually get up to 60 million. But that 60 million, that the add-ons will probably be paid into next year, so it doesn't affect the PSR too much. I think I also heard that that Forest want a relatively high deposit, and up front, we obviously want to spread it across, not because we can't afford it, but PSR is PSR, and we're having to pay it in that way. So, all right, that's where things stand. So I was going to ask, like I said, are we going to get a line? I initially was going to say no because I thought it was up to 55 million. But now that I think it probably takes up to 60 million, I'm a little bit more encouraged. I'm probably about 60, 70% sure that it will get over the line. Is it worth it? Is Elanga worth 60 million? That's the next question I'll be asking. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Is he worth 60 million, 55 plus million, whatever it is? Si Robson, I'm only asking because, have I missed something? Did you ask another question, Si? It's only, I haven't seen. Okay, so I'm only asking because he's right-footed, and maybe we're looking at someone else for right wing. I might have missed what your initial question was, Si Robson. He is right-footed, but and I wish I saved this video, but I saw this graph saying that I think he's given like 5 assists or scored 5 assists with his left foot or created 5 assists or scored goals with his left foot. So there was some graph that showed that he's one of the most like he uses both feet essentially. So yes, you put him down as right-footed, but he's very much both-footed, and I think you see that's why he can play across the front three. He's used through the center, through the left, a lot. So he's not just a right-footed player as well. So there is that to him. Kim Cam, they're offering the same package they offered for Pedro. Or are they? Because I thought we were offered 50 plus 5 for Pedro. And then Chelsea came with a 55 plus 5 for Pedro. I didn't realize that. Um, that's interesting. It will probably make sense actually. Because like I said in the previous show on Tuesday, 60 is the new 40, right? 60 million is the new 40 million. And that probably goes to answering the earlier question: is he worth 60 million? He's not worth 60 million, but it's not his fault. That part is not Elanga's fault, you know. And forgive me, Man United fans, or anybody listens listens to the show. When I know this is part, kind of debates and stuff like that, and me saying, look, when you guys bought Cunha for 60 million, and then Brentford started demanding 60 million for Mbemo, and started doing this first week of transfers, which has never been done before the Club World Cup. It inflated the prices to no end, and now the 60 is the new 40 million, and so that's where it's at the moment. So in this current market, in this current climate, I think he's worth that much, in my opinion. I think he is worth that much. Right, so Kim Cam, Newcastle can not afford another setback, so they will pay, and they have a good relationship with Forest. In terms of possibly from the optics, Newcastle do get this deal rejected again. From everything else, like on top of the narratives, if from the narrative point of view, it looks bad, and sometimes narrative becomes reality for people. The reality is that Newcastle haven't received any more, in my opinion, have received the same number of rejections as any other club would, whether it comes, because now people are putting together bids together with player rejections and just mounting it all up together. But from the optics point of view, I agree with you, Kim Cam. And even if, like, the more I argue with it, for instance, with rival fans especially, the more we look guilty of, not being able to take rejections, or for forever getting blamed for, like, oh, you're too sensitive to rejections, when we're just trying to clarify things. So I get what you're saying, Kim Cam. Kim Cam, he is not worth 60 million. This is the tax called PL proven. Yeah, that too. I really do blame it on the inflation part of things, which kicked off with Mr. Cunha. Adrian Pickett, Elanga will prove that he's worth over his Newcastle career. What he costs right now is almost unrelated, and I suspect the same too, Adrian. I think partnering up top with Isak and hopefully Gordon. Hopefully we'll, I know there's multitude of rumors around Gordon leaving and stuff like that. But hopefully, God willing, he stays. I think Elanga, Gordon, Isak, the pace, the power, the movement, the intelligence up front, it's absolutely frightening. And so I do also back Elanga to make the difference. Kim Cam, no, he's not worth 60 million. It's tax. Okay, so Kim Cam definitely doesn't believe he's worth 60 million. Sarah Robson, not to sound negative, but I see Elanga coming in as a replacement for Gordon. It's not been negative. It's not been negative, Sarah Robson, at all. Like, it's just we're talking football, and I tried my best to avoid this kind of negative, positive stuff, and sometimes people are just giving their own reflection of things and stuff like that. Elanga plays on the left. He does spend as much. I haven't seen. Let me just see something. Let me just double check on something. Elanga, because I was about to say he plays on the left as much as he plays on the right. Let me just check this on a transfer market. Let me share this tab with you guys instead. Let me see. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so let's just double that. Let's just have a look. His position is right wing according to this, but so it was worth 42 million according to euros, according to transfer market. By the way, okay, so let's see which position has he played in primarily. How did I used to do this? I would go to that's the nationals. Do I want to get here? Is it career stats? Let's see few stats. Yeah, so here we go. 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 So I can't remember how many games he played in total in his career. 206. So out of 206 games, right? Let me make sure you guys can see this. All right, so 206 games in total. Man United, Sweden, whatever. See, out of those 206 games, he played 63 on the right wing, 55 on the left wing. So it's not wrong to say he could be a replacement for Gordon. It's not wrong at all. Centre forward, 39 times. Definitely doesn't really play through the middle, but certainly right wing, 63 times. Left wing, 55 times, 39 through the middle. Again, highlighting his versatility, really, doing fantastically, and hence why we bought him in the first place. Could he be a replacement for Gordon? Possibly. And we've heard, obviously, all that kind of stuff, but I'm really hoping Gordon stays. I won't lie, I would be gutted if Gordon were to go. I would be gutted if Gordon were to go, especially when we're building a really, really formidable front line, in my opinion. It will look very bad if they do not get over the line. Yeah, absolutely agreed. Adrian Pickett, are the Gordon rumors still strong, side? Oh, so that's the side. El Capo, 60 million is now the going price for 21 to 25-year-old olds. It seems older players in their prime are priced around 30, 35. So make of the price what you like. Clubs want the younger players now. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the Elanga news. And guys, our special guest is here. Is absolute. I want to first say, like I said, putting these programs together, you're gonna, uh, 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 like I said, another quality content creator, especially from the fan channels. I find him one of the most balanced and kind of engaging people to listen to, especially not just on Arsenal but on all football talk in general. The coolest character in the room. Goodness gracious, I've seen him. Folks trying to pressure him, and then they end up getting angry themselves. That's a skill in itself, honestly. He's absolute, and as of all the guys that will come on, but I always genuinely say, just the same quality person on camera as he is off camera, and his show, um, Tunnel Media, is absolutely phenomenal. Like in terms of like the production and everything they've put in it. Like I just got my laptop and camera, and I'm struggling every day. How these guys put this quality show on for people. I will encourage them to put it in the description. I'll put it in my description as well on the YouTube and X. I really encourage you guys to watch it as well. So let me get on, Mr. Kunle. How you doing, sir?
Oh yeah, now my people. It's your dark skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. And boy, oh boy, I've had some introductions, but that one right there, come on. I respect you. Great guy. You understand. You understood the assignments, as they like to say. Yes. How's everyone doing, man? What's good, man? How are you?
Living life to the full, sir. Living life to the full. So it's so mad. It's because before I even got into this YouTube game, I've seen you do that introduction on other folks' channel. It's almost surreal to see you doing it on my own channel today. So it's a special moment for me. It's a special moment for me, and it's a great moment for the channel. We were just literally wrapped up the Elanga deal stuff before we'll get onto the.
Sorry for coming late, by the way. My bad for that.
Nah, no problems at all. Before we'll get onto the Arsenal news, but just from a rival's perspective, before we get onto the kind of the nitty and the gritty of Arsenal, from a rival's perspective, how do you kind of view Elanga? The latest, so the latest news that today Newcastle United have bid what looks like 55 plus add-ons for Mr. Elanga. I imagine that takes up 60 million.
55 plus add-ons.
Yes,
We
sir.
we can definitely
65.
talk about it.
What's your view on just overall on the Elanga, on the price? Do you think Newcastle could be going elsewhere, or do you think it's the right? Do you think it's the right step forward?
Like what I was told in terms of this Newcastle situation is that you lot are like looking to take that next step to be like, obviously you got the trophy, Champions League football, you're in and about the top four over the last couple of seasons. I mean, you missed that last season, but you got straight back in this year. So I'm looking at, if you're looking to go from where you are to that next level, Elanga is not the guy, bro.
Okay.
Elanga is not the guy, and definitely not for no 55 million plus add-ons. Oh my god. I'll ask you this question first before I continue.
Yes,
do you
sir.
rate him? Do you rate him better than Madueke?
You're gonna make the chat laugh because I really like Madueke, and it's to everybody's controversy. I hear him, like I've seen, obviously, like I saw you today on the football terrace. You weren't even having him for a rotation. Yeah. So I really like Madueke. What edges it for Elanga for me? The only thing that edges it is because he's Isak's international teammate. So I know they've already got a relationship and they get going. So that's what edges it for me for Elanga. Yeah.
Like I look at Elanga's situation similar to, I might be wrong, but I look at it similar to remember when Lingard went to West Ham and he completely cooked in it. Like obviously I didn't see, if West Ham signed him that summer, I didn't see him replicating it as his career at West Ham. I thought purple patch, but at best, but he'll always look better at West Ham because they need him to be more active and need him to do more things. Whereas I knew he was just a piece of the puzzle. That's kind of how I looked like Elanga. Obviously, he's really flourished now, being more involved at Forest, but like nobody expected Forest to go for the top four this year. They missed out, obviously, but they were very much in the running until the last bit. And Elanga, where was he in the running, bro? During the running where they got to get results, where was he, mate? Where was he? And then you guys want to spend 55 million plus add-ons on a guy that choked at Nottingham Forest, let alone a bigger club who with more ambition, more expectations like Newcastle. I just think it's a backward step for you guys, and especially for that amount of money, I think you could find better for that amount of money personally. And like I'm not saying you get him, but what's his name? Alanga's not as good as Nico Williams, and they're going for the same money. That's his buyout clause, 55 million, I believe, or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think it keeps you at the same level rather than takes you to the next level. That's why I look at it. It's a decent signing, but he doesn't elevate you, I don't think.
Folks, you've heard it here first. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear rivals' perspectives. We've got DWTT. Hello, Toon Tactics. God bless you, sir. And Niger and chat rooms up from someone from your channel. Did I say it right? DWTT? Is that what it
is?
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, sir. Great to have you on board. Aaron Kane, that's the market. To be fair, it is. Like I said, I was saying to folks, 60 is the new 40. And I know that they're saying that Man United fans don't like me hearing me saying it, and you'd have seen me going to war and the chat about this. But this is what caused the market inflation. But nobody wants to hear it. It's fine. It's why Madueke is going for 50 million. By the way, just right. You pay 60 million for. I know. Elanga is better than Madueke. Okay, so that's the market. To be fair, Elanga is better than Madueke. His output last season proves it. Well, it's true. His last season proves it. He's not the answer to a low block. We need a 10. That's true. Adrian Pickett, front three, Elanga, Isak and Saka. Goodness gracious. You're going to make Kunle upset, man. You just come on the channel. You want him to leave that already.
Good stuff.
Cy Robson, North London would drown in Arsenal. Oh, yeah, if that would happen, absolutely. Right. So, folks, like I was saying, I want to do a good comprehensive chat on Arsenal. And we're going to go we've got so much stuff. So we've only got so much time, but I want to be able to cover, just get Kunle's view on Arsenal season. So we're going to.
Are you trying to depress me, bro? We were good, man. I thought we were cool, man.
We'll be as brief as you like it.
Yeah,
As brief as you like it. I'm going to go
recovering.
Yeah. If you give me a one-word answer, it's fine. I hope you don't give me a one-word answer, but if you do that, you do that. We'll go through a few stats and we'll talk about your transfers, because there's so many things. There's so many questions I have that I really want to get to the. Well, I want to kind of understand. I want to get from you guys, because anyway, I'll get to it. But anyway, right. So let's do it. You finished second. Arsenal finished second after 38 games. So I'm focusing on the league, really. You finished second. You've obviously finished semi-finals in the Champions League. You won 20 games. Same as us, by the way. Drawn 14, and you lost 4 games. So you got a difference of 35 goals. You scored 69 goals, just one more than us. And you conceded 30.
Why do you keep mentioning you, lot?
It's your on the Newcastle channel. What should I say?
Yeah, fair. Good play.
And you conceded 34 goals. I think it's the lowest conceded certainly out the top 5. That's your league table. I mean, what's been your kind of overall feeling in terms of your league position? What were you expecting for the year? Are you disappointed in the finish? What was your kind of overall thoughts on it?
Do you know what it is, right? This season was a lot for me, for different reasons. Because I looked at the squad at the start of the season, and I looked at it as like, if I was the manager of this squad, I was thinking there's not enough to get the job done. That's what I said looking at it. But I'm like, but you know what? My manager thinks it's enough. So do you know what? I'm going to get behind it. I'm going to get all the way behind it, because I don't want any stories come summertime. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, we didn't do enough in this and all that. So I took him on my back, knowing that I think it's not enough. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear it on my back, because my manager, he thinks it's enough. So he must see. I'm not there every day. So he must see something I ain't seeing in it. So I'm going to show blind faith, and I'm going to get behind Mikel.
Right.
But Mikel, when it comes to the end of the season, I don't want to hear injuries, multiple competitions. They didn't do anything for us. I don't want to hear none of that.
Right.
So here we are in July. Season has ended. We're empty-handed, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We get further in the Champions League than we've been for a while, which was great. And look, in hindsight, if you look at it, imagine people actually wanted us to beat PSG with a DM as our striker, which is crazy when you look at it. They're the team that beat Inter Milan 5-0. But with that being said, watching both the games, we could have. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying we were the better team, but there was enough in there where we could have taken something. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm frustrated. Look, I'm not one of those guys that like you don't go there.
Being PSG isn't for everyone. But, sorry.
We done it. We done it last season. So yeah, I understand. We also did it. That's fine. It's in the knockout stage.
We're the only unbeaten. When Luis Enrique would say, "Oh, you beat all the English teams," they weren't talking about us. So
this season, you lot weren't there this season. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying, how can you talk about a team that didn't show up, bro? Hey, I didn't be a team that wasn't here, bro. You know what I mean? All right, you lot, well done for beating them in the group stage. It's like we did. You know what I'm saying? But knockout PSG are obviously a different animal, which every UK team found out this time round. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but there was enough in those games. Like, for example, I didn't want to go back to it, but Marino has no reason to be offside for that goal in the first game, bro. We practice those set pieces every freaking week, bro. Every week we do that. So for me, that's 1-1. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
1-1 going to PSG, different game, bro.
Mhm.
Different game. Like, we're not on the back foot like we were, forced in the situation. We could probably hold it up till like second half a little bit, then try and nick a goal. But it's like Martinelli, lack of finishing, Trossard, bad finishing. So we had enough to do it. So my issue now is we went from 2 points to 12 points. We
Mhm.
finished 2 points behind City and 12 points behind, not City, Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If it was City, it would be at least, I guess it would have been a pill that is easier to swallow. Easier. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's still hard.
Right.
Whereas it was Liverpool. And I said to myself, if this Arteta guy allows himself to get slotted out this season, he has to walk.
Right.
Because, like, obviously, I thought Liverpool would challenge. I didn't think they'd win the league. I thought all these one people talking about they're on a rebuild and they're gonna decline, like Egal was saying. I was never on that train. I was like, they got champions in the squad.
Right.
Klopp rebuild the midfield for the guy, so
Mhm.
they're not scrubs, and they were in the title race last season. People thought they
Yeah.
were going to win it at one point. To be
Yeah.
fair, so how am I going to say that team can't challenge just because they only signed freaking what's his name, Chiesa or whatever?
Chiesa,
I
yeah.
thought they'd challenge. I definitely didn't think they'd win. I thought Arteta should have been the bigger man, and just after he realized mathematically he can't win the league, he should have walked this season.
Mhm.
Honestly, like that, like for me, I would respect him a lot more if he walked personally, because like my issue with Arteta is not like, and people will think you're entitled or you don't appreciate what he's done. Don't get it twisted. I appreciate what that man has done, and
Mhm.
I'm not taking it lightly because Arteta made me enjoy watching my football team again. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I
Like,
know. I know what you're saying.
like like to the point where before Arteta tune, I was literally, when you people asking you what's your prediction, like I legit didn't know. I didn't know what Arsenal was gonna see. Like I was like, I know we should beat this team, but I don't know. Like it was techie for like 2 years. It was technical, bro, tense. But this guy got me talking. Yeah, we're gonna beat City. What do you mean? We'll beat them.
Yeah. Right.
I was going into games with confidence, and I'm not taking that lightly because I remember those dark times, mate.
Yeah.
Socrates and them man in our defense. You know what I mean? With Staffy. So he took us out of those dark times, and he galvanized the fan base. He got rid of the deadwood. He like in terms of clearing out, he did a good job in terms of clearing deadwood out. I'd say this is that first title challenging season was the first season I've heard the Emirates loud since we moved there.
Mhm.
It actually felt like home for the first time, really. Where it was like the atmosphere. You can see when we went a goal down, the fans were back on it. Do you know
You
what I'm
were
saying? They
fighting.
weren't
You were fighting.
these
Yeah.
yeah, they weren't these freaking entitled London fans that we usually are. Ooh, now we're not going to cheer unless we're doing well. That we weren't doing all that. We were just going at it like the clubs up north. I've always said the clubs up north, their fan bases are different. Like
Yeah.
if Arsenal was up north, we would have had about 17 protests by now from some of the stuff that's going on. But because we're all proud and from London and all that stuff, like when on a break a nail, do we? All that stuff, like that's and I appreciate everything he's done, but that doesn't mean that I'm just gonna accept nearly every time. Just because I appreciate where he's taken us to. A lot of our fans just believe because he's taken us from here to here, we just got just give him another go. Like
Yeah.
how many times does it give it another go? How many? How like is there like a date? People say, but this season they'll be like, oh, but if he gets close and he just misses out, but nah, bro, there's no tactical, technical thing that I will see there that he has to get it done. For me, he had to get it done last season. So
Mhm.
I'm not saying he's a bad manager, bro. My thing with Arteta, Phil, is that what's to say that someone else doesn't deserve a shot at it? Is he the only one that can get this team to like? Do you know what I'm saying? Why shouldn't someone else get a shot? Like, if he'd won me something since the FA Cup, like when you think of title challenging teams, yeah, obviously you want to get the big one done.
They
Of
leave
course
with
you do.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they
leave with
don't leave.
something.
Yeah,
Like this team is on the verge of being Spurs.
Oh, sheesh.
Like, and what I mean by that is that Spurs Poch team had like as good as football they're playing. They've got nothing. They're like, oh yeah, when Poch was round, we really push them this and like. I don't. Do you think I'm gonna be out there repping that season? Oh yeah, when Arteta was around, he really like pushed City all the way. And what the fuck is that, bro? And the fan base have got so lost in it, they think that's all right. They're all that's mine that they're saying that. But we're Arsenal, you know, we're not fucking Spurs. Like, and I'm not trying to talk entitled or anything, like, but it's I can't believe you made me talk about this.
I know you went into. I'm like, you're telling me, okay, don't take too long. So give me one of my answers. You went into.
Sorry. So yeah,
I'm glad
like
to hear
you
it.
know, all the trauma just came back to me, innit? Sorry, man. Sorry, yeah. Hey, bro.
You're not the first one, you know. Like I feel it's like a therapy session for opposition fans. Honestly, Vato games, Man City was the same. Everyone else is like, yeah, they're just letting us know. I'll give my thoughts on it, and we're gonna go through the stats as well. This is just to briefly to get your take on Arsenal. And here's my initial thought, and I haven't got a conclusion on this, but you've answered some of the questions. Is this, and this is kind of just before, take the season away. When you guys failed to finish for the Champions League, you had that famous game against us and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That season, and this goes towards this what I call Arsenal derangement syndrome, where I don't think people are able to give objective either criticisms or praise on Arsenal because they either hate Arsenal too much and they've got their thought pattern marred by the banter era that you came through, right? And I can say banter era like because look, you've been through 2-3 years of banter. We went through like 15 years, like so. There's no like laughing here.
I think it's more than 2-3 years, but yeah.
Okay, but compared to what I feel like is, do you know what I mean? Like I don't know if you watched that famous Batman scene. You watched Batman before? You know when him and Bane are fighting and Batman tries to get into the dark and Bane says, so you've adopted the dark. I was born in it. That's how I was born in it. I'm molded by it, right? So that's like how I feel. So they can't. I feel like they can't judge Arsenal better because they keep on wanting to go back to banter area. So when you fail to finish Champions League that season, people weren't even backing you to finish top half of the season, but you just finished outside of it. Roll on the second season. They said, they have to do it again. I bet they won't. I bet they'll bottle it again. I bet they won't even finish Champions League. You ended up doing the towel challenge. And what did they say? You bottled the league. But they forgot that they said that you're not even going to get to the Champions League.
Hey, context doesn't matter when it comes to
context doesn't matter. So this time they said, okay, now we want to see you challenge for real the season before last. And you challenged for real. You dropped off, I can't remember, last 5-6 games.
That's the Villa game, man.
Yeah, but you challenged. But they still said, but you bottled it.
Took them to the last day.
Right. Well, exactly. But it's gone out of the brain. This season, and I understand the drop-off, I partly think it's because you went further into the Champions League, which is a good thing. Remember, I think it's your first time in the semi-final of the Champions League? Something like that?
No, it's first time in the Emirates era, yeah.
Right. I can already feel in the back of my head certain Arsenal fans saying, you think that's winning trophies? And it's not winning trophies. But from the outsiders looking in, I still see the progress and objectivity. It doesn't mean that Arteta has to be the person that continues it on. Like you said, it can be somebody else different. But I also feel like Arsenal there's an Arsenal derangement syndrome. And sometimes I think the worst of it comes from Arsenal fans. And in my opinion, like I just some of the stuff that I hear, we're going to talk about Norgard and transfers and everything else in the moment. Yeah. So let me just.
You know what it is?
Yes, sir.
It's like it's weird. It's fucked up. Excuse my French. It's messed up the fact that the social media era has been the era where we've not won majors in it.
Yes.
So if Man U were going through what they were going through then, they'd probably be a banter club, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like we just happened to take the turn at the really worst time. So what it is, our fan base are so sensitive now because they've been battered since social media started.
Yeah.
And to the point where I don't agree with it. Phil, I don't agree with it. But what's happened is they've become so reactive to banter that they're constantly seeking the validation from the
Yes.
rivals now because
Yes.
okay, what are you
Yes.
saying now? I
Yes.
thought we were a banter club. Like
Yes.
they
Yes.
can't just they for some reason they don't allow themselves to just enjoy what's going on for them. It's just got to be because the rivals said we're good now, or but they could. We need to get the respect from the rivals now. And what happens is the rivals, unfortunately, they clocked and they feed into it.
Mhm.
And man, it's created such a toxic world online where the rivals see what it does to us, so they keep throwing stuff at it, and then it's like everything sticks to the wall. Like when you throw at Arsenal fans, everything. There's not one thing that they ignore. If someone said like Madueke's better than Saka, there's gonna be fans that actually gonna like try and shout and no, what do you mean? Like I'm not even
With
having the
tactics boards,
conversation.
go to the length of like going to scout reports.
Yeah,
I
like
told you he's better.
I'm
No,
not even
we know.
having the conversation. Like what are we okay? They were like Man U fans did it. They're like Ahmad is better than Saka.
Right.
And you know how much of our fan base got their back up against the wall, brother? I'm like, are you lot insane? Like this is even like the guy's played 7 games and you're letting him rep that. You lot aren't serious, man. And then what happens? What is really toxic now is the fact that even if we win, we can't. We're not allowed to celebrate how we want to celebrate.
Yeah. It's
We sign
bad.
a player.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
If we sign a player, he's
But
good
that's your
before
own
Arsenal
fans
get
though as
linked.
well. Because sorry to interrupt you, but I've seen that like on channels where you've had an exceptional performance in something, right? And when I see people coming on the show, they don't even analyze the game. They're like, yeah, but like in the grand scheme of things, why weren't we doing this before? I'm like, Yoski, bro, you just demolished so and so. Like, this is a great game. Like, it's so bad. And maybe I'm gonna guess that me and you are around the same age, like from what I hear her
Yeah.
talking. And it's maybe because I've got like and maybe it's also a generation thing to do the social media. Because in my mind, I got a reference point for Arsenal, Bergkamp, Henry, Tony Adams, and stuff like that, and that kind of era. So I'm kind of like, I know what Arsenal is. Like I don't think those kids seen that. They haven't seen it. All they've seen is like what they're seeing now. So then
Bro.
there's that insecurity. I think.
You're spot on. The insecurity is probably the best word to
Honestly,
give. And it's like it's now, and you know what it is now? Like I don't even want to say this part on YouTube because it's gonna stay. But I really feel it. I don't know if I'm gonna say it, but basically the toxicity in the social media world has created like all Arsenal fans are like, I guarantee they're like, you just fucking wait till we win that major. You think that we're celebrating like we won this game now? You just hey, we'll show you what it's really like when you know how they say we over celebrate a win. You're celebrating like you won the Champions League, right? I promise you, Phil, like they don't know what the celebration that we're gonna do for that night is like. If they think that's what we're gonna do if we won a Champions League, bro, they have no idea. And I get it now because that celebration is not just gonna be, oh, we won the Champions League or we won the league for the first time in 21 years or whatever. It's gonna be you fucking rivals, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're finally, yes, literally. And this is in the intro, you talked about how people try and rattle me and they end up getting rattled.
Yes.
And it's because of what you just said.
Because you've got the reference. Yeah.
The reference point, the era I'm from.
You've seen like, Bergkamp and Henry.
Yeah,
you've seen like
you get what I'm saying?
Vieira,
all this
like
noise that certain man has said, I'm like, bro, you're just making. You know when people just throw a comment out to rattle you. What for me? If it's not a comment that makes sense, computes in my head, I'm like, I just carry on talking about what I came to talk about. But like, it has to make sense. But Saka hasn't scored in any finals yet. Palmer has. I'm like, like what? Like, okay, so England won that final, yeah. Like, I don't understand. I didn't even respond. Like, I never heard anyone champion a goal scored in a final that they didn't win. Like, yeah, like What? Like what? That's like man. So I don't get caught up in nonsense. That's my thing.
No, I definitely. I'm gonna go through your season stats. I'm gonna breeze through them because like this, I didn't
Sorry, I'm
even.
kind of
No,
overthinking.
it's good. Like it goes where it goes, isn't it? It goes where it goes.
Yeah.
Like you never know where it's gonna go. But there's a few comments as well. Adrian Pickett, would you take Eddie Howe? And this is to do with Arteta out. Arteta, you can give us a short answer. Would you take Eddie Howe?
No.
All right, here we go. There you are. Brennick 74. God bless you. Third Champions League semi-final, second in the M. I know.
There's always one guy that tries to really.
Yeah.
This
This
big
is
up
good.
Rennie, though, is my guy. Big up
This
Rennie,
is
man.
so big up Benny.
All right, stat
El,
man. I hear it.
El Capo. Arteta is like a German holiday maker's towel on the pool sunbed. Oh my word. You know he's going to be there morning, noon and night, and he's there to stay until the end of the holiday season, but he'll be back. Okay. Oh, he'll be back next season. Okay. We'll see. Wobojo, I don't know if you know Wobojo is one of our incredible members. He's an Arsenal fan, so it's a really a great guy as well. I don't want Isak anymore. We need to sign Philip for the 12th man position. Actually,
You know what? Like,
yeah,
obviously today is R.I.P. Diogo Jota,
yes,
R.I.P. Nigerian legendary goalkeeper Peter Rufai as well.
I saw that.
So hence the Super Eagles shirt and
Yes, sir.
to dedicate. But it's a bit of a weird question, and I wasn't sure whether to even bring it up. But do you think, due to circumstances of today, there's a higher chance Isak does move to Liverpool? Because obviously they were in for an attacker. Unfortunate situations happened today, which increases their look for an attacker. So I don't know. Like, I didn't want to talk about it because of the day it is, but do you think there's a chance now Liverpool kind of double down for Isak now because of that void that's been left?
So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool double down, and I still think he's going to be a Newcastle player. So we'll move on from that one.
Fair.
Adrian Pickett, you can have Philip for 25 million plus Saka. They're offering me a bar, like, and they're just like, bar. I'm just here, just like for 25 million plus Saka.
Hey.
Big up Adrian. But I appreciate that's high value there. That's high value.
I get the development fee still.
I'm more than Hoyland. No,
Hey. Probably still more than them anyway. So.
Adrian SDS Saka derangement syndrome. There is Saka derangement syndrome is back in full force. Absolutely. Bobby Fairview, one of our great members, also a Chelsea fan. Have we got any Magpie signings yet? The PIF moving like Arteta. Well, to be fair, Arsenal got 3 signings, and we're going to talk about them. I have been following Kunle throughout his platform means. I know that his general take on things as well. So I'm quite interested to add a few things as well. Yeah, Elanga is close by. Cy Robson, I think this is towards the Isak question. Stand your ground and dig your heels in. Absolutely. Kim Cam, he is not moving to Liverpool. No chance. We will not sell them or Arsenal a virus or versus. I don't know. But essentially, no one's want to move. I'm going to breeze through the stats just a little bit in terms of what you guys did last season and get your kind of overall talk, because it's literally about your attack, defense, some of your top stats as well. Get your kind of overall take on it. And this is taken from FOTMob. So like they've rated you, Arsenal, third. This is all your stats together. Where your whether it's in possession, attack, offense, on the ball, off the ball, all the metrics that they've put together. You guys are third in the league in terms of that, which is interesting because you finished second. So goals per match, you're third, 1.8. About 1.8 per game. Goals conceded, you're first. So, obviously your defense is impeccable. Average possession, you're fourth for that, 57%. And you've got 13 clean sheets. Again, the same. I know you're going to say why you mentioned yourselves, but we've got the same amount of clean sheets as well. Attack. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
Nah, the defense. I think we were worse defensively this year, which is the weirdest part. I don't know if we conceded. I think we
Yes,
conceded more than we conceded last year. I think. If I'm,
the
we just
last
looked.
year. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
just think like this year, I was actually like I remember last season, Phil. Whenever
Mhm.
Arsenal conceded a corner, I just go to the toilet. I wasn't worried. Like literally, I did. I wasn't even like, what, this is getting cleared or saved or whatever. I wasn't worried at all, not one bit. When we conceded a corner, I was like, calm, he'll catch it, kick it out. I'm not even worried. Like
Mm.
that's how arrogant I was about our set pieces. But this season, every time we got a corner from December, I'm like, yo, dog, like, hey, sweating.
You have to like hold it in now. You have to hold it in before you go to wait for it to pass.
Literally. So it's so funny that we've conceded the least amount of goals in the Premier this season, as shaky as we've looked at the back this year. Obviously, I think we had less. I don't know. Did we have less consistency than we did in our back? I don't know, man. I
Well,
don't
put
know,
it
man.
this way: your expected like conceded goals is one of the lowest in the league, 35, and you conceded 34, 35 goals. So you're performing as your, which is very good because you're performing as you should be. So you're not
Mm,
like
mm,
underperforming or overperforming. I think it's very good. So generally, you're doing really, winning the ball in the final third. You're fifth for that as well, which isn't bad again. Um, uh, and saves per match. Your goalkeeper only has to work roughly twice in the game, so it's not bad. I know what you mean, but it's not.
yeah,
It's it's,
yeah.
it's not. It's not bad. Um, Attack. Now, I know obviously someone mentioned as well when you didn't have your attack. Expected goals, you're sixth in the league for that. You had 61 expected goals, but you scored 69. So you've outperformed that. And I think there's a lot of credit to that, in my opinion. You had a lot of players out. You had Marino, obviously fitting in. You're fifth in the league for big chances created, seventh in the league for shots on target, and maybe that's where we're kind of talking about having a little bit more than that if you want to win the league. Hence why you're looking at forwards. Um, uh, Crosses per match, fifth in the league. Penalties awarded, you're 16th in the league. Only two penalties awarded. And I don't know if you feel that's fair, because considering this, you're third in the league for touches in the opposition box, but you've only got two penalties. So I don't know if you feel like you yourself feel like,
But
is that
all I know is, as an Arsenal fan, you're not allowed to complain about
right?
decisions.
Okay, 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 okay,
I
okay.
plead the fifth. Plead the fifth when it comes to those. But do you know what? This season showed me more than anything, Phil, is that Arteta is obsessed with two things, and they both reside in Manchester: Pep Guardiola and Manchester City football team. That's what this season showed me, and what I mean by that is the two title races that we had with Pep really affected Arteta.
Yeah,
More the second one, because I, I was nearly perfect, and still this fucker 2 points. What do I have to do, Mikel? What do I have to do? I'm sure he didn't even sleep with his wife for the whole summer, man. That's how focused he was on fixing. Like he got so much in his head where we didn't need him to be in his head.
mm.
What I mean is, like, when he wasn't in his head, that first title run that we had where no one expected it, he wasn't in his head. He was trying new things. He was making this. He was having fun. We were playing fast flowing football. We were creating chances like up and down. Like, it was got to the point where if we could went 1-0 down or we needed a goal, I was like, we're gonna get one soon. Whereas this season, I was like, yo, if they equalize here, it's kind of long for us to score another one, And how have we gone from there to where I'm like panicking when we concede or when we're only 1-0 up, considering and considering we're supposed to be more solid defensively. So what Arteta did for me, he got so obsessed with the Pep and he over tacticked himself where he was
Yeah,
giving the players a little bit too much information, and sometimes they were that completely kind of removing all their freedom where he was doing a little bit too much. But what he did get right, if you saw two games this season at the Etihad, at the Emirates, we were fucking up for it, bro. We were there for blood. If we didn't get the man sent off at halftime, we probably would have won that game and they had 3-1. We battered them at the Emirates, man. Because we thought we just need to beat City and we're all right. Not realizing there's 18 other teams in the league to sort out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because we went, how do you go from battering the champions 5-1 at home to 3 days later losing 2-0 to Newcastle with the exact same line?
Yeah.
Like, that's pathetic to me. Like, and we looked like two different teams. Against City 3 days ago, the high press, we were pressing them, winning the ball back quickly. Newcastle, we didn't press at all. Like, I was like, these are the same players. What that clearly showed me is that they were thinking about that return Emirates leg from the Etihad when they equalized in the last minute, rather than focusing, okay, we'll get there when we get there, but we'll deal with what's in front of us. And I think that's what really messed us up. The obsession with City, and that City ended up dropping off. So we're supposed to capitalize. No, we forgot. Oh yeah, there's another team, Liverpool. I knew there was someone we were forgetting, and bro, and we never really recovered once they took the lead, bro. Man,
I feel it. I feel it. I have the same.
Too many points dropped from winning positions as well. Really affected me this year.
That is serious. That is a serious part of it. So that's it. We're not going to stick on your season. I know. I promised that we wouldn't, but I feel like
I hate you for this. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like you needed this because
because I've got quite a lot off my chest. Actually, yeah, maybe I did need it. Because maybe I feel a little bit lighter.
Maybe I'm beginning to think maybe because it's like 2 people on the channel rather than 4 or 5, and you're having to. Sometimes I feel like when you're about to make a point, someone else cuts in or so you can't quite finish it off. I think maybe you're just getting an opportunity to like fully explain what you're thinking and what's happening. I think you're not the only one. I feel that's what's happening.
Maybe
so. I think you needed it. And the guys needed to hear it. We're going to talk about your transfers in the moment as well, just to get onto the chats in the moment.
What? We'll talk about it. Since you're forcing me to talk about it.
We're going to do a few versus lineups as well. So, okay. Wobojog says, Philip, what do you think if we add a new law that bars any business between the top 6 clubs from the previous season to force them to strength from somewhere else without weakening each other? Thoughts?
Do you know what?
Bars you from doing business between each other.
Yeah, so basically, you got to do business outside the Prem. I think that's what he's trying to say. And do you know what? Okay. And do you know what? Do you know what? Like, I think that would be the best thing to happen to Mikel Arteta because that's all he knows, the Prem or La Liga.
Oh, that's why he's asking it. He's an Arsenal fan.
He don't buy players from anywhere else. If he ain't played in the Prem or La Liga, we don't want you, bro. Literally. Look at our signings, bro. La Liga or the Prem. Always.
Okay.
I was deep in it the other day. I was like, raw. Like, that's why all these other things are taking long. Gyokeres and Sesko, where are they? What leagues are they in? They're not La Liga or the Prem, are they? Look how they're taking time. Arteta's still almond around. Maybe I should go for Watkins. Maybe. Like, bro. You've opened up so much.
I know.
So many wounds, bro.
If you get Watkins and Madueke through the door, I think they're going to start off.
Brother, I'm leaving Nigeria. I'm moving here.
Adrian Pickett, who are you trying to? Okay, so that's the word. Who are you trying to hang on to? Guys talking there. Who have we got? I actually want to say. Trying to say, Sam, God bless you. Good to see you. Yes, lads. Please buy Elanga. We know you guys need the money. Now you're good, Sam. I'm not gonna go that far. So, but we know that Man United are gonna get us some 20% from that deal as well. And folks, we've got 21 folks in the chat. I forgot to ask, guys, do like, share, and subscribe as well. You guys are doing fantastically well with the likes as well, getting more and more subs as well. By the way, you don't know, Kunle, we broke 700 subscribers in the last live show as well. People responded really well, so that was really fantastic. Thank you, sir. So well done to all the chat for you guys for doing that. Oh, good to see you, Rich. Red Devil United, High Tune Tactics. Quick question: is Pope for sale? And also, how much are you going to pay for it? Rich, I'm laughing because I can feel the stress from the Man United fans on here. Like, you guys, it looks like we're going 55 million plus 5 million probably in add-ons. So it's about 60 million or so. So you guys are probably gonna get 15, 20 million from the deal. And no, Pope isn't for sale. I think it's going to be Pope and Trafford as well. So, but big up to you, Rich. I was watching your program earlier, Rich, in the morning. That's when I heard the Diogo Jota news on your live stream as well. And I want to say that you handled that in terms of just how you did as well, really, really well. Especially that just such like incredible event. Like, it was how you did that was really, really masterful. Adrian Pickett, is that okay? Oh, is that sarcasm? Something to you, rate Elanga? No. They really want us to buy Elanga. Like they mean that's heartfelt, Adrian. That is heartfelt. They need the money. Oh, good to see you, Mitch. Where our sleep Philip is constantly bringing on quality guests. Love to see it. Oh, look at that quality! I'm telling you, got Patrick Vieira here. Patrick Vieira, and people are already giving offers for Pope. Right, so I've got a couple. There's like main contentions in your transfer market, and my overall question. So it's going to boil down to this, Kunle. As I go through your transfer, my overall question that I want to kind of keep for you to keep in mind is, or debate that I've seen. I know you've been in, kind of watched on what you guys are saying is the overall question is: are Arsenal actually strengthening? Are they actually getting better? Right. So. Just from a wider view, and there you got players that I didn't realize that are still there, but just quickly through it.
Yeah, the Conga's still on our books. We just got rid of Tavares, mate. Just got
believe
rid of Tavares. I thought we got rid of him time ago.
Oh, right. So he's gone now. So Tavares is
Yeah,
gone.
8
Fabio
million.
Vera is still there. Reece Nelson is still there.
Bruv, I don't know how that guy's still there.
That's incredible. So in my mind, these guys are not there, but they are. Obviously, they are. And you've brought in Kepa, who, look, again, for me, is a backup goalkeeper. And I think this goes back to your thing about, great point about people just responding to anything. Because when I heard the banter, I can't believe again, Kepa, I thought, no one's going to take this. This is dead banter. But it just caught a life of its own. You're buying that. It just caught a life of its own. I'm like, oh, this is unbelievable. But anyway.
Kepa thing's hilarious, man. It's actually hilarious.
It's crazy. We're going to talk about Norgard in a moment as well. So,
someone called him Norgard VPN earlier. I was like, come on, man.
So, couple things, because I want to also show a little bit kind of comparisons between him and Jorghinho. I've got a little data program that I don't often use. I'm going to try and use it here. Right. So Norgard is now here we go. He's coming in. You already had Jorghinho who left. Was it in the January or was it? No, it's the summer he left.
Yeah,
he's just left. And Partey, his contract has expired. My take is that Norgard is a replacement for Jorghinho, quite obviously. Partey, the ideal would have been for Partey to stay. And I've recently kind of gone to some programs in the background as to why he may not have stayed. I don't think necessarily it's Arsenal fault, though I do think there's a pass between Bertrand and Partey from Atletico where they didn't sort out a deal there.
Yeah.
Now Partey did say in an interview that he expects 10% agent fees for his agent, which I don't know what the average agent fees are, but I always hear constantly complaining that agent fees are too high. Arsenal chose not to do that. Other things come into question: his age, injury record, and everything else. I personally think it's the agent fees that perhaps was the reason why it wasn't renewed, but also they didn't want to pay. Before I kind of get into it, kind of compare plays and stuff like that, what's your kind of thoughts on the Partey situation? And is there anybody that's necessarily in the right, anybody necessarily in the wrong?
Do you know what? I think the biggest issue with this whole situation is Partey's age.
Yes.
If Partey was 29, for example, I don't think we would be here. I think we'd be excited about him staying at the club maybe 2-3 more years and him getting a pay rise with probably still three good years in him at the top level doesn't sound too crazy considering how important. For me, he was our best midfielder last season. I'm sure
Right.
some people will force the Declan Rice prop because of his 2 free kicks, but our most consistent performer was Partey in that midfield. But the issue is, I saw an interview of him and I knew he was going. This was like maybe 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I knew he was off because
Right.
there's a tone that these West African men we use. Like, and there's like like he started saying stuff like, he started with a really good part. I'm an Arsenal fan. I love the club. Okay, so he's softening us up. So he didn't say but, and he said also, I'm not getting any younger. Footballers' careers don't last forever. So we need to pay bills. I'm like, yeah. He's gone. He's gone. And he's not going anywhere in Europe. He's going Saudi. I don't expect to see him at Barca, by all these other clubs that people were saying. I heard even Man, you were looking at him at some point. I'm like, he's not going anywhere there. No team in Europe is gonna pay him the wages he wants, innit?
Yeah.
Like he wants a team to just say, okay, last season was your first season in England that you were consistently playing. You're 32. The chance of you doing that again are 50-50, but we're going to give you a 50% freaking pay rise. It don't work like that, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
What would have made more sense is we backed you during your crazy legal situation. We backed you publicly.
Right.
You got what I'm saying?
Right.
It would have been nice if you just said, you know what? Just give me a 1-year extension on my current contract, and everything would have been fine. But he didn't take that stance. He decided he understands the pull of what's going on in Saudi. He knows he can get the money he wants, which is the annoying part. I just thought he would have wanted to leave Arsenal with a trophy and give it one last go, rather than saying, you know what, I won a few things in my career at Atletico. Let me just hook up my family now and get some big money for big contracts. It's annoying. But at his age, I also don't necessarily blame him.
Right.
But I thought there would be a bit more loyalty because of how we were during his legal situation, and him being injury prone during that legal situation, and we still kind of were behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice if he gave us that year, but it's one of them ones. I can understand why the club didn't renew it because they're not going to increase his wages. But the thing is, like, Norgard signing only affects me if we don't do all the other things, innit? Like, for example, if you get me Gyokeres and Rodrygo, like, I couldn't give a toss who else you buy, really, personally. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like I can not as black and white as that, but I can close my eye at some situations that I frown upon if you get me those. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you get me Rodrygo, I believe the level raise on that left side is enough. And then you get me an actual centre forward versus what we've been using. Like, surely an actual centre forward scores more than a DM. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm very confident in those scenarios where Norgard, he's got leadership experience. He's not cost a lot of money. He plays in Arteta's favourite league, the Premier League.
I don't know if you can see the screen here and just exactly what you're saying. I had this is the comparison between Norgard's 24-25 season, obviously just season is gone, and Jorghinio, right? And like you said, he's younger than Jorghinio as well. Can you see the screen, Kunle?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, so Norgard is here in the blue, and Jorginho is here in the red. Obviously, the main place where Jorginho surpasses Norgard is in the progressive passes, right? So that could be partly attributed to the fact that Brentford aren't as the way Brentford play, but all the other areas, goal threats, progressive carry, chance creations, ball recovery, Norgard has had the better season. I'm not saying he's the better player, but he has had the better season. I did some FB ref stats as well, just to summarize Norgard for folks as well. I had to do it because I felt like, again, I feel like rivals and people are making up way too much of this type of stuff. But just to let people, I'm not saying that he's Patrick Vieira, but his strengths are passing. He's got a higher pass completion rate. He's gone to the right side for that in terms of Arsenal. With strong progressive passing still. It's not as high as Jorginho's, but there's a reason for that. Defensive contributions, he tops in tackling, interceptions, clearances. I think if you got high interceptions, it shows for me you got a high intellect, like a footballing brain.
I think he got eight goal contributions or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Effective in dribblers tackled. So even though he hasn't got necessarily the athleticism, he's still tackling other technical players. Ball recovery.
Jorginho doesn't have athleticism, so both of them in that department, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. He leads in aerials, again, obviously amongst midfielders and blocks, work rate, high touches, so he takes a lot of responsibility on the ball, and successful take-ons, which is important if you're playing for Arsenal, to be able to take players on and to get to the other to progress the ball. Weaknesses, attacking output, again, I think he's a deep lying playmaker. He's not necessarily the person. I think they've got Damsgaard and people for that kind of thing. So that's why I think he's more suited for the Jorginho role. Mm. He's got a high foul record, which is interesting, but I think that might be a Brentford thing. I don't know. And he could improve in his progressive carries, but it's not necessary for a deep lying playmaker. So his play style he's a defensive midfielder. Mm-hmm. That's what he is. He's robust tackling, interception, ball recovery, strong in possession with accurate passing, limited in his creative forward play, but he's a defensive playmaker. That's all he is, right? He's a Jorginho, a younger, more athletic Jorginho replacement. And so, again, similar to the Kepa situation, I think people have just overblown it too much. But I do think if you manage to keep Partey, you would have had a little bit more. But I think you guys are looking for a younger forward. Now, moving forward, I know there's a few people in the chat as well, actually, but I wanted to, and I'm going to do a little comparison as well in a moment. But who should I go for? Do you want to? I'll give you the choice. Eze, Rodrygo, or we're going to. Let me do this one at the end. Victor Gyokeres versus Sesko, and where you stand on it. Eze, Rodrygo.
Come on, bro. It's a no-brainer, man. Rodrygo, like you see me. The only way we get Eze is if we get Rodrygo as well. For me. Because for me, he does his best work through the middle. I'd rather see him.
Eze.
Yeah, for me anyway. So I'd rather.
I agree.
If he comes in, I don't mind him like competing for the 8 and the 10 role. Like I'd like to see that. Like I like the fact that Odegaard doesn't have to play the full 90 if we have an Eze, and if he's having a few bad games, Eze can start. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he can fill in on the left for us, but I don't want. When it comes to that left wing, I need a specialist. I don't need a guy that fills in on that left wing. We've done enough of that, man. So for me personally, I want both of them if we're going to get them.
And I think that's the kind of the latest news as well, because I think Ornstein kind of corrected himself a little bit and said if you sell someone, you'll get both. But it looks like Martinelli is been called by Saudi.
I heard Bayern are looking for a left winger as well. Like Martin Ellis, it's been real, bro. Go back to like it's like we've had a good time with you, but Martin, time for you to move on. I'm here for it. I'm here for the here we go, Martin Ellis. Martinelli. Sorry, I need to call him by his real name. Martin Ellis from Romford. That's who he performed like the last 2 seasons, mate. So that's what he's being called, all right? But yeah, if sell Trossard or Martinelli, man, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, either of them, man, can go this summer for me, bro. But if that means we get in an Eze and a Rodrygo, I'm here for it. I'm ready to sacrifice any of them.
So there'll be no tears from you if you were to leave.
Not a single tear. I'd drive him there if he wants me to.
What do you think happened for Martinelli? What went wrong for him?
You know what it is? For me, I just believe Arteta didn't allow him to make the evolution that I thought he was always going to make, which is move into the middle. Because for me, obviously, I was overly gassed when he had that season where he scored 17 goals. I couldn't believe it. Like, like I knew he was a talent, but that clinical, like, do you know what I'm saying? That like Martinelli threw on goal 1-on-1. That was a goal 2 seasons ago. Like, it wasn't even like, okay, as soon as he threw 1-on-1, I know that's going in it. You know what I'm saying? I think he
Right.
scored 2 of the same goal against Palace the last season as well. Like his finishing. So I thought he plays with his head down. He's quick. I see him in the future through the middle because he's not intelligent enough to be a world class winger. Whereas a striker, he's got the attributes that he could turn into. But Arteta didn't see the same thing like I saw when he first came, and he decided to keep playing him as a winger. And now people have figured out his one move. He's got no other things that he can do.
Right.
And the fact that I think what really helped him out was playing with Jesus because of the type of runs he makes.
Right.
Him and Eddie and Nketiah didn't look good. Him and Havertz don't really look good together because Havertz doesn't make the exact same runs as Jesus. Very similar, but the chemistry is not the same. Where it's like they know exactly where each other is when it comes to him and Jesus. That first season, they were doing madness with their movement. Defenders were completely confused. But for me, if Martinelli does stay, I want to see him playing more through the middle than as a winger because he's just not got the football brain to be intricate enough to be a winger in the long term.
To kind of pull it off.
Yeah, for me. You know, one of those wingers that when they explode first season when no one really knows them, they can get away with a lot. But when they start, okay, you're a pace guy. Let's make sure you don't get to use your strengths. He doesn't have a okay. Let me try something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas kind of Saka, for instance, evolved and he found a way.
Literally, Martinelli getting double teamed will never happen because there's no need. Whereas Saka, he gets double teamed and he finds a way.
He finds a way.
And one of those things that I'm confident if Saka's been kind of not pocketed but quiet for a whole game, if he gets that one opening, I'm confident he takes it. Whereas Martinelli, I'm like, he's not had a good game, so we know he's not going to take it. You know them ones. He's not
right.
different.
Got a few questions in the chat, and then we'll do the final comparison with Victor and Benjamin Sesko. And then we're going to find out what's Kunle's thoughts on Newcastle before we wrap up the show. Joe, no Kunle, that stops the the Arsenal from poaching Isak, or I think it's the top 6 stuff. Away from Newcastle, they won't have the experience, the Sami and Nasri, RPP, etc. nightmares we went through. Oh, so he wants to stop nightmares happening, that type of thing.
I think he's saying that then you're not in a situation where you have to sell stars, where we were in that situation where we had to.
Okay.
So you're not going to get bullied into any scenarios like we were at the time. You get me?
There's that, but then the negative impact might be then players may be reluctant to join because they know that what if a club that I want to does come for me, then I'd rather wait than I'd rather stay where I am. So there is
you're one of the big boys now, so it's calm. Don't worry about
it. We're working there. Rodrygo now 4-5 favorite to sign. That's good news for you guys. As a 7-2, it's the hype train is coming.
I'm not falling for anything, man.
I know.
Here we goes, man.
Here we goes. Adrian. Oh no, it's not Adrian. Norgard blows J20 out the water. My main objective is if we are going to restrain clubs like a Newcastle, Aston Villa, that's an interesting choice of words, we should counterbalance it with a way to retain their talents. Yeah, I often find that the more laws you create, the more kind of corruption you get and the more problems you get. So, but I hear what you're trying to say, though. I think the simple answer from a Newcastle perspective is just continue, get better, win, and people want to stay longer.
Right. I rated that you guys needed to get Champions League this season to protect some of your players, and you did it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because if you lot finish 5th or 6th or whatever,
long day.
Gordon, Isak, all them man, it would have been a long summer for you lot, man.
Long day. Yeah. The vultures will be gathering.
Yeah, the vultures will be all there, bro. Waiting. They were waiting for that Nottingham Forest to just dunk on man, bro. Nope.
God bless Man United. Beating Villa. Adrian Pickett, Norgard is going to work just fine at Arsenal. Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, it's not a big thing. I've seen emergency meetings held over that stuff. I couldn't believe it. Adrian Pickett, yes, I hear you all. But okay, you guys talking amongst yourselves. Arsenal are getting both, looks like. 73 million asking price, settle for 80 million. Adios, Nelly. If you guys get 80 million from Martinelli, goodness
Eh?
gracious.
Hey, that's serious 419, man. We need to check the books if we get that, boy.
Goodness gracious. Right. Final boss mode. Now, this is where me and you might have a fight, Kunle.
Yeah, we will. I already know.
um,
We had the first bout a few weeks ago, man. Second round.
did we? Okay,
Yeah, we did.
okay. Victor Gyokeres, Benjamin Sesko. Now, first of all, I'm finding it hard to keep up as to find out, understanding who the who the favorite is.
Basically, in the AM is Gyokeres, in the PM they say we're linked to Sesko in it. So every day it just changes. They alternate.
It just changes every day.
Yeah, basically. So
I
like,
swear,
I think what's his name? Romano's bored. Basically, he ain't got a lot of content. There's like, okay, the Arsenal fans will listen to anything. Just say anything about Gyokeres or Sesko every day, and we'll get them going. Like he said the same thing with a few changes to his words every day, basically.
right.
It's annoying, man.
Okay. So, but have they both signed personal agreements? Like,
Okay. Personal terms are not a problem. That's what we're hearing for both of them. So it looks like we're actively seeking both of them. But it seems like Gyokeres' situation is really messy because of this, like people still believe gentlemen's agreements in 2025 for some reason. Like,
right.
yeah. Even if you score loads of goals for us, we'll the same amount, Victor. Definitely. Like, how you believe in that, bro? It's like, did you watch the McDonald's story? Have you seen that?
The McDonald's story. No. What
Yeah.
happened?
All right, check it out, man. Basically, the McDonald brothers, whatever, they sold the McDonald's to Ray Kroc, yeah. And just about when they're about to say, Ray said, "I'm going to give you 2% of every McDonald's," and they were looking at the contract, and it was like, "But it's not in it." Yeah, it's one of them ones. Investors won't invest if I put that in the agreement, but we're good with it, man. Don't worry, you got a gentleman's. Obviously, we know the rest is history, in it. Like,
Right.
he didn't give them none of the 2%, and they ended up broke. And he's a freaking billionaire. So.
Jeez.
Crazy. Watch the story though. It's a sick movie, man. Check it out, man.
So he's now thrown a tantrum. Apparently, well, I say tantrum. He's in terms of Victor Gyokeres. He's just saying, "I'm straight up not playing." Right. What's Berta trying to do here? Because it feels like he's trying to do 5D, 4D chess here. I'm not quite. Are you kind of like saying, yeah, this is a great negotiation, and I understand it having multiple, having your, keeping your what's the word, kind of keeping the fire burning or keeping your irons in numerous fires, but I do feel like it's causing more confusion than it is actually getting things over the line. I mean, what do you think about his approach?
Do you know what? It's a weird one because honestly, I'm out of it. Like, I'm not involved in, like, I'm not like lost in. I don't check which one we're getting. Like, my thing is because I've been through quite a few of these transfer windows. This is how I keep myself at peace.
Yeah.
Until I see the yellow writing on Sky Sports News, I don't believe anything, bro. Personally, and because I've learned. We've been so close to that. We were so close to signing Suarez. If you listen to what people were saying back in the day, so I've seen us get so close. Benzema, Higuain, all these different players over the years. So I don't chase the vibe. What I will say is, if game 1 of preseason, neither of these boys are at my club, that's when I'm gonna have some questions. Like, because all of this is because none of this shit matters if the day before preseason, Gyokeres signs, Rodrygo signs. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, all the rivals, in it. Everyone that doubted him, Berta's the king, blah blah blah, all of that. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit. So until then, you're not really gonna see the real Kunle. You're not gonna see the real me until Pre-season, the night before pre-season. I think if you're doing a stream that day, that's probably the perfect day to get me on the channel, bro. The night before pre-season, because all these smiles that I'm doing right now and say, yeah, nothing to worry about. It's only July the 2nd, all that stuff. All that dies that day, bro. All of that dies that freaking day. I'm out. I'm on the new train then, bro. I can just, it's all fluff and all this smoke screens and all that. I don't really care what's going on. Just get me those players by preseason. I don't want to be like the scary part of this Rodrygo one. I think even if we do get him, like it'll be like a deadline day thing. I think it's going to be that annoying, the Rodrygo one. I reckon the Rodrygo one, if we end up getting him, I reckon the striker will get like relatively soon. I think for some reason I think we're going to end up going for Sesko because of how messy this Gyokeres situation is starting to look in terms of him and his situation with his club. But yeah, I don't think any Arsenal fans is in position where they should panic yet, because we spent 5 million on Kepa, who is probably the third best number 2 in the league right now, if not the second best, for 5 million. So I don't think that was a bad deal, and getting Norgard in is a good, it means that we've done our rotational squad members first, and we're doing the big boys just before the pre-season. I don't know. Well, who knows? I might just be telling myself that to cope through it. But yeah, it makes sense. It seems legit. Sounds legit on paper, isn't it? So we'll go over it until it isn't it.
We're all trying to stay calm. Right. So let's do this quick comparison. This is for this year. This is Victor Gyokeres and Benjamin Sesko. Seasons. This is 24-25 seasons, right? So we've got Mr. Gyokeres here in the red, and we've got Benjamin Sesko in the blue. Now, for Victor, goal threat, he's in the 99 percentile, far exceeding Benjamin Sesko's in the 56 percentile. And he also rips him on chances created, for instance, as well. Victor Gyokeres does. On ball recovery and on ball retention. Where Gyokeres is a little bit better, though, is goal efficiency. So the difference between on the stats, the difference between goal efficiency and goal threat is essentially you taking your chances. You're able to take your chances. Whereas goal threat is like how many times you're in dangerous areas, the dangerous spots, goal involvement, and stuff like that. They're fairly equal on progressive carries. So they've got that technical ability as well. So it's a varied thing. For me, I've got Portuguese tax. I've got Portuguese league tax on Mr. Gyokeres. That's the main thing. And I think if you put Benjamin Sesko in that Portuguese league, I wouldn't be surprised if you get similar stats as well. I'm in the Sesko camp, I think, for Arsenal. I think he's aerial threat and dominance. I think for me, it's not even so much about Sesko or Gyokeres. It's more about Saka. And why is because everybody knows when Arsenal are attacking, Saka's the main person to go after. The reason why, friends, I think Salah works for Liverpool is because they've still got guys in the centre and on the left who are threats, and it gives Salah enough space to manoeuvre. If you've got someone with the presence and the height and the physicality of a Sesko, and someone decent on the left, or Rodrygo, for instance, and Eze behind, just frightening, just talking about it, you're going to get, I think Saka's going to have a lot more room as well. I'm not convinced that Gyokeres, I'm not saying he's rubbish or anything like that. I just, when I was doing a scout report on him, when he left Brighton, there was a lot of clubs after him in the Premier League, Italy, this and that. And he chose the Portuguese league. When a player chooses the Portuguese league, for me, it signals I want easy life. You know how Partey wanted Saudi Arabia? So I feel like Victor Gyokeres has wanted easy life. And it became so easy, he's bored now and he wants to challenge himself. And his agent is doing absolute wonders in social media saying, hey, we've got X amount of clubs, we've got this and that. But his release clause is actually active now. And people can get him for 60 million. and nobody has triggered it yet, which I think tells me a lot. I
Nah,
don't
but they
know.
the
What do
sporting
you
that
think?
said the guy said he's not going for 60 plus 10. He's not going. He said I'm not selling him for that. The owner said I'm not selling him for that. So there's no way. He basically said there's no way he leaves for that amount.
But there's a release clause, isn't it? He has a release clause, no?
I know it's not. I don't think.
Let me
I
get it.
think the release clause is actually is no. The initial release clause is more, but the gentleman's agreement kind of changed the release clause where he said, "But I'll let you go for the 70." It's not the actual release clause. That was the gentleman's agreement that we'll let you go for 70, like 60 plus 10 or something. But the guy, like a couple of weeks ago, said, "Yeah, we can't let you go for that now." So basically, it was cool. It was cool talking about. Where did I write that? Where did I write that? No, but you said, where did I write that, bro? He said, but you heard him once. So you see, what you did was quite. I saw what you tried to do there, Phil, and we're
What
going to
did I
talk about
do?
it. I saw you try to do that, and I nearly brushed it off, but we're going to talk about it. So it was like, hey,
Go
you
on, go on.
tried it. You tried it. So Gyokeres going from Coventry in the Championship to Portugal is that a step up? Yes or no?
No.
So you think the championship's not is more competitive than I mean
Well,
is a better league than
even
Portugal?
Opta analysts believes that the championship is a better
I'm
league than
asking you.
Portugal.
Don't
Yes,
give
I
it up to the
agree.
analysts. Okay,
I agree with Opta analysts.
I disagree because you don't play in the Champions League in the championship. So he
No,
does
but
play.
now you're switching chairs here. Like, are you talking about the
No,
league, the Portuguese league, or are you
if
talking
you
about the
win the
Champions
league,
League?
you're gonna play the best of the best. No,
So do you want to? Are you talking about the okay? But do you want to focus on the Portuguese league
I'm
versus the
talking
Championship?
about Sporting Lisbon as a whole because you didn't say league. You just said the club. Okay, you did say league, but still, I'm using my narrative. But yeah, so in terms of it was regardless going from championship to a major
Okay.
league is a step up. Yeah, obviously he's taken that league by storm. He's not done a small boy thing. He's shattered the league like back to back, won trophies, played in big games. Like
So in
people
the
didn't think
Championship, you're right. In the Championship, he did 121 games, 41 goals, and 15 assists. Not shabby, not too shabby. So like one and three.
I don't think those stats are right, bro. Say that again.
Championship,
Okay.
championship,
Oh, the championship. Okay, fair.
championship. Yeah. So 121 games, 41 goals, 15 assists. The Portuguese league, 66 games, 68 goals,
Okay, no.
17 assists.
Okay, so for me,
Champion. Yeah.
it's like he knows how to hit the back of the net. Innit? That's number one. Number two, we create a bag of chances. If he was just there, having the same chances as Havertz, he scores 20 plus goals this season for me in the Premier League alone. We
Okay.
had Marino scoring 8 goals and he's a DM. So there's nobody that can tell me an actual striker is going to do worse than Marino. And he played for half a season. That's another thing. But and also what you mentioned about Saka getting more space if a Sesko's there. He's naturally going to get more space if Rodrygo's there because maybe they want to double team Rodrygo. Maybe they want to double team Saka. Someone's going to be free. Like they're not like sometimes they can't double team any of them because they're both an equal threat. So I think that's why I said if we start signing Rodrygo again, I can ignore a lot of other things. Phil, like literally that because I just think he takes our left side to such another level where I know when he's one-on-one, he's gonna make an intelligent decision rather than a erratic one, which Martinelli makes all the time. I'm more confident about that. So if you get me Rodrigo, I actually don't mind if we get Sesko, but I think Sesko would take a little bit longer to adapt than Gyokeres. I don't get it wrong. I'd love to be wrong and we get Sesko and he hits the ground running from the first game, but I think Gyokeres is more ready to take the ground running like straight away. Sesko's ceiling, yes, I believe is higher. And if Arteta was in 3 years ago when we did our first title challenge, Sesko would be a great signing. But I think he's the guy that can get it done right here and right now. Personally, bro, I think he's the guy. He's hungry. He's in the peak of his powers. He's
Yeah,
probably got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because everyone doesn't rate the Portuguese league, so he's eager to impress.
yeah.
So I don't know, bro.
Well,
Like,
just to let you know that Opta Analyst so doesn't rate the Portuguese league that it doesn't even bother doing the analysis for the Portuguese league. And I think they did a later study on it where they said like apart from the top 2 or 3 teams, the rest of them are like League One level. There's League One level teams as well. People then go on to say, but in the Champions League, though, in the Champions League, he's played 8 games in the Champions League. He scored 6 goals. 3 of those goals came against Man City this year, which people are raving on about. We know that Man City's in
are we
that
gonna brush
period.
up Man City now? Is that what we're gonna do?
We're gonna give objective analysis of what we're gonna do, and that is that Man City we know went in the best period of their time at the time in that period, and they had a makeshift back line. But we'll give him his dues. He scored 1 goal against Graz, right? Austrian champions. 1 goal against Lille in France, and 1 goal against RB Leipzig, who again haven't had the best season. So for me,
Philip, this is
when
bad.
people
Is this what we're doing?
you know why I know that you're nervous, yeah.
You brushed off a hat trick. You brushed off a hat trick just
You
now.
know why
and
I know. You know why I know you're nervous because all this time you've let me talk, but now we're here. You're over talking. I'm like, okay, this is sensitive. That he really wants this guy.
No, I just saw what you did there. You tried to brush off a hat trick.
Okay, let me see.
But then you're
okay.
like, oh, but he scored against a weak this side, and like,
let's do this. Can I get the
terrible.
Can I get the lineup from this game? Do I have to click on it or do I?
I hear even putting up the lineup.
This
is bad. This is crazy work.
Can we get the lineups, or is it? Do I have to go out?
Forget about the lineup.
I know you don't want to see.
City,
I know you don't want to see.
Manchester City. I don't. No matter what lineup you show me, it's Manchester.
Oh, okay.
City.
So that means Man United are still Man United that can win the title, right?
Is that the same thing? Did Man U just win the league the year before?
Is that okay? So
you've won the last 4 league titles, and you're comparing them to Manchester United that's not won a league title since Ferguson.
What kind of season have they had so far?
They finished 3rd and got to a final, and we're at the Club World Cup.
Was there a period where they didn't win 11 games, 13 games?
But yeah, of course there was. But what does that mean?
It means they went for a bad patch, and guess who played them during that bad patch?
Is that what we're doing?
Let's just look at this.
I feel like I don't even know you right
now. For the audience, Victor Gyokeres had a great time. Scored 3 goals. Oh, let's see. Where are we?
Never heard someone brush off a hat trick in my life.
I'm not brushing off a hat trick.
You're talking about a hat trick against City, like, they're going for a bad patch. You can score 1 goal, but a hat trick, bro.
Can you see the screen?
Come on, don't ever brush off a hat trick, bro.
I want to make sure you can see the screen. That's all I want to make sure.
I don't need to see any screen, bro.
I know
He's got a hat trick. He's got a hat trick. What else do I need to see?
So let's go through City's back line.
Oh, because they had pussy at the back. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't say that. So we've got the academy player, Simpson Pose. Right back, Rico Lewis. Would you have Rico Lewis as your right back?
No.
Okay. Akanji, a left centre back, and Guardiola, who I rate, the one player that I rate at left back. Who was their midfielder? Kovacic and DM, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva in the middle. Nunes.
That's such a bad midfield 3, right?
Nunes. Terrible. Oh, okay. So Phil Foden has had the great season.
Who cares if he had a great season or not? I don't understand.
How about Savio?
Quality player.
Does this lineup make you go, ooh, shiver me timbers?
No, because we beat them this season, isn't it? City is our bitch now, bro. We don't need to these.
All right, cool.
Back to back wins.
I think I've made my point.
No, you've not. You've made a point, but you've not made your point. Because I've never seen anyone in the history of football try and minimize a hat trick ever. You're the first guy I've ever seen.
Okay.
If he scored 1 goal,
let me
ask you
a question.
A guy took 3 chances.
Let me ask you a question.
Against a world-class goalkeeper.
Is there a difference?
Trying to brush it off?
Is there a difference between Saka scoring 3 goals against Macclesfield Town and scoring 3 goals against Liverpool? Is there a difference?
Why don't you ask me if there's a difference if Saka scores 3 goals against Manchester City and Liverpool? Why about that? Because Macclesfield and Manchester
Okay,
City are not
okay,
the
okay,
same.
okay. Here's a better one. Here's a better one. We've just
Yeah.
seen that Gyokeres played Sturm Graz and he got 1 goal.
See these comparisons you're using, they're disingenuous. Because man said Macclesfield against Arsenal. How are we comparing Macclesfield
All
to a
right,
Manchester
cool.
City that's struggling?
I'm not
Come
gonna
on.
change your mind. You're not gonna change mine. But there we are. There we are. Let's get the chats. And guys, this has been an incredible show.
Wait, bring up
Uh,
Boston's comment, please.
is at the bottom? Okay,
Yeah,
Boston.
Gyokeres can't head the ball.
Eucharist is not fit our system. He can't play with his back towards the goal. No hold up play. Has a heavy touch. Not ideal against low blocks. We need a profile like Isak, Sheshko, or Ekatike. And I agree with you, Isak. I agree with you, Boston.
You
Kunle
see,
doesn't agree with you.
you see why I don't agree is because I like as because of this the link to Sesko, I've tried to watch him more and tried to get excited about the fact he can jump higher than Cristiano Ronaldo. I tried to get really motivated by it. But my thing is, in terms of movement, his movement is very similar to Havertz for me. I think he's got a better. He strikes the ball better for sure, and he'll probably score more. But I think their movement is similar. What for me, the reason I want Gyokeres is because we've got a Havertz in terms of that movement. Gyokeres is completely different to the style of Havertz, so it gives us 2 different options. Where depending on what team we're playing, we might need a different style of 9. If we have Sesko and Havertz as our options, it's quite similar in terms. It's quite similar in terms of style of play. Although one person can actually strike the ball where the other one just caresses it with his leg or whatever he calls it. But I believe the movement is just too similar. So I want options. And it's been a while since we've had options at Arsenal where there's 2 strikers that can do different things that we both like. We had Nketiah and Jesus, and we saw how that went. So
Got one more question here on the Eucharist stuff as well. But fellow Arsenal fan, rate Sheshko much higher than Eucharist. But watching how Eucharist fights in his club and Sheshko doing nothing to force the move like Eucharist actually makes me want Eucharist more. We don't know what's going on in the
yeah,
background.
literally, I think that's just the press deciding what they want to post for that one. I hear what you're saying, but I don't really buy too much into that because you know how they manipulate us on social media. So, bro, don't get too caught up into that, man.
Don't get caught. Don't get caught in the source, just like my camera is at the moment. Okay. Let me see what else folks are saying in the chat, and then we'll give a wrap up as well.
Adrian, you deserve to be flogged for that comment.
Did you see the Murderwaker one? Is that the Murderwaker comment?
This is worse. This might be worse.
Third
from the bottom. Third from the bottom.
Third from the bottom. You know why he's saying that? Because we're all afraid that we're gonna get Calvert-Lewin because we're forever linked to him. We're literally.
Hey. Bro, not a bad shout.
You like that? You like that now? Yeah, you like that?
Not a bad shout, you know.
Because it's got a similar profile to Gyokeres, I think.
Look, if you lot sign DCL and Elanga, bro.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Gyokeres is the Messi of Hoyland. If that makes
that's violation. That's actual violation. I got your point, but that's violation. How can you call him that, man? That's wrong. No comment to that. That's below the belt. But you can tell Arsenal fans we're starving, we're suffering, bro. Literally, but all the comments I'm seeing from us over the last couple of days, a lot of us we're starving, bro. We just want something. We just want something to get excited about. And the funny thing is, if we sign Rodrygo, they're gonna brush it off like, when you leave Real Madrid, it shows that you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna ruin him. Once they believe we can't get him, he's sick, he's this, he's that. Why is he going to come to Arsenal? As soon as if we get him, the whole narrative changes. Well, he couldn't even play his favorite position. And how good really is he? And anyway, I'm waiting.
Does it worry? But saying that, because I don't know if apples and oranges here, but Man City have obviously offloaded players on you guys who have been good sometimes, not good sometimes, or over time. Is it worry that Madrid aren't actually really? Doesn't feel like they're fighting to keep him?
Do you know what? I'm not too bothered because the way Xavi Alonso has kind of portrayed the situation is that, look, I want you, and I'd love to use you as backup on the left because that's where I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, they've got Vinny that can play there and Mbappe that can play there. So he'd probably be third fiddle to play on the left. You can play in your position, but you'll be a backup now. But you can definitely play in your position.
Right.
That's what he's basically saying. Because if you look at Madrid, Vinny's got more credit in the bank. He's the star boy there. That's his team, and he plays in this position. And Mbappe credit from France and all that stuff as well. So, like, I don't have a problem with it because of what Madrid have. It's not like they've got scrubs that are ahead of him, Mbappe and Vinny. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in the position he wants to play in, and for me, it never made sense. He was doing a job on the right, but Madrid can get better on the right if that makes sense. Like, not if he on the left, he's quality whenever he feels in there, quality. But on the right, he's not. I'd rather Saka on the right than Rodrygo on the right. But do I think the gap is far from them? No, I think they're quite similar. I think they could if they're both in their favorite positions, it looks crazy for the rest of the league. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not too worried about it. And Odegaard did well in the initial start from Real Madrid, and for me, which I don't know if every Arsenal fan agrees, I think Ozil did very well at Arsenal, even though the team wasn't built to his strengths. He still had a decent career. I believe Ozil in this team would cook.
Yeah, he would cook. I was going to say he would cook in his team with Declan Rice, but like kind of covering, sweeping up behind him. Crazy.
Yeah.
Go one more. Well, I'll do one more if that's all right, Queen. I'll go one more question for you. Boston's come back. He said that a striker heat map tells you everything you need to know about a striker. Gyokeres is predominantly on the left. Havertz is on the right, like Isak, Sesko, and Ekatike are all central, proper strikers. So I think he's trying to say that Gyokeres essentially isn't of the same mold as those players. Does that worry? There's not necessarily worry, but like, do you think that maybe Gyokeres won't be the focal point that you perhaps need?
This is how I look at the whole Gyokeres thing, and I see what everyone's trying to do. But my thing is, there's so many times where our winger gets to the byline or gets to the wing.
Yeah.
And the striker we want to be is on the edge of the box rather than in the right position. And I don't think Gyokeres is going to be the guy on the edge of the box. He's going to be the guy sniffing in the goal, which is his stats prove. All this heat map that this guy's talking about. When Saka makes that run up the wing and someone needs to be in the box, Gyokeres is going to be getting in there.
Right.
So that's what I'm excited about. And if he does that 3 times a game, he scores 1.5, maybe 2. That's how I see it. Because my thing is, we create chances. If he gets the same chances as our centre forward, I can't see him missing more than them. Number one. Number two, those positions where we're like, fucking hell, Havertz, where are you? Or Jesus, where are you? He's gonna be there, so we're not gonna have to worry about that personally. But I think the biggest, and not a lot of people are talking about it, but the biggest big question that needs to get answered at Arsenal this season is really, which is no one's talking about it, is Martin Odegaard. Are you gone, or was that just a blip?
I think it's a blip. I think he's an exceptional footballer.
I'm hoping that's the case. The same thing with Phil Foden. Like, I don't think he's done either. There's still players in both of them, but those two playmakers have big years this year. They 100%. Either get written off and fall into the wilderness, or everyone's like, everyone's entitled to have one bad year, man, or whatever. What's the narrative going to be this time next year about both of those players? Time will tell.
I think I'm a little bit more worried about Man City's midfield than I am about Arsenal's. I think Arsenal's got a better midfield, and once Zubimendi comes in, Odegaard doesn't have to drop in as much. He can stay up in the final third a little bit more and be that creative player. Whereas Foden playing Man City's one, I think that one it's going to leak goals. I don't think they've changed it. I
What
think Guardiola's tired.
Rodri back with what's his name? Reinders. That's a solid. Hey, Reinders is a baller, man. Don't get it twisted, bro.
They're
That guy's
ballers, but what made City
box
great
to
is
box.
the off the ball work. They're not
Hey,
as
Reinders
good.
is all action, bro. I've been watching him for like the last 2-3 years, man. He's just added goals to his game. Now he's deadly. So he had all the other stuff. He just didn't have goals until this year. Now he's added goals. He's for me. I would have loved to have seen Rice, Reinders, and Odegaard, bro. I don't know why no one else tried to buy that guy.
But the
45
key
million.
player is Rice. They don't really have a Rice. I don't think Rodri's that same guy. He's older. He's coming back from an ACL. It's a difference between, yeah. You don't want to doubt the guy.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But again, until I see it, I'm not gonna write him off. He from Ballon d'Or to not
Fair,
at all. I don't know.
fair,
I don't know.
fair.
He deserves the benefit of the doubt until he shows us otherwise. That's what I'm saying with Rodri.
Folks, you've heard it here first. We had a fantastic show, and the comments are still flying in. I hope you folks remember to like, share, and subscribe. We talked so many things on the show. Obviously, we gave we shared our love and our prayers for Diogo Jota, him and his brother André Silva, and for their family. And then we talked about Elanga coming to Newcastle United. The fee looks like 55 million plus add-ons. Will Forest accept it? Kunle is. What are you more against, Kunle? Elanga coming to Newcastle or Sesko coming to Arsenal?
Ooh, that's a good one. Elanga going to Newcastle.
Oh wow! So this is like this is the height of not wanting to be there.
The funny thing is, yeah, I love Newcastle. Like I nearly bought like a Newcastle shirt back in the day. I love Asprilla was one of my favorite players. So when he went to Newcastle, I was properly like watching you lot. So and the sexy football and stuff. So I got a little soft spot for Newcastle, but the way you lot treated us last season is kind of, you know what I mean? It's like it's a bit mad right now. You know what I mean? So if you lot are talking about challenging and you're bringing Elanga and DCL to the table, bro, good luck, man. Good luck, man. Good luck. See you lot back in the Europa League next season, bro. That is wild.
We did the review of Arsenal's season where Kunle had a therapy session. You know, I should start charging people for this. Like, I'm really a really comprehensive and objective take on Arsenal and the stats, and as well we talked about their transfers that are coming in, coming out. We did Norgard versus Jorghinio, Partey, why he left, Gyokeres versus Sesko, the possibility of Eze and Rodrygo both coming in. If that were to happen, by the way, we're going to finish up on this. Okay, so you got your.
Don't chat to me with any bass in your voice if that happens, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
She'd be like, hey, you're right, yeah. Don't chat to me anyhow. What, Eze and brother? I'm going on all streams topless, bro. You mad? Chest is all the way out.
So Eze and Gyokeres, I imagine. Eze, Gyokeres, and
bro. Eze, Rodrygo, you can throw in whichever this striker you want from there. You can throw. I don't even care at that point.
Oh, you don't even care about the striker from there,
brother. If you get me Eze and Rodrygo, get Sesko, Gyokeres, freaking Ollie Watkins. I don't give a damn, G. Okay, I'm reaching with the Ollie Watkins one.
How about Madueke? Sorry, go on. I don't want to ruin the show. Go on.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel, my people.
Oh yes. Where can the folks find you, Kunle? Where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Tunnel TV Media. You can also find me on Niger Englishman on Niger Englishman on Instagram and also on Twitter. Yeah, and Tunnel TV Media on all platforms as well.
Incredible. Well, I can just read from the comments. People had a fantastic time. Guys, do make sure you look out for Kunle's channel. It's an incredible show. And as always, folks, make sure you look after yourselves and make sure you have a great evening. And God bless, folks.
Brilliant from Sham. on the